All right, so April, one of the last things I want to talk to you about now is we talked about, where did we start, right? How did you get that way? And we talked about, where we've progressed to and all of the great things that are changing in your body and your function and your life and stuff, your quality of life. I'm so happy for it. It's great. And the last piece we want to talk about is now where are we going from here, okay? So let's review. We talked about there's 3 different types of people that commonly we see in our office, right? And your choice was what we call the kind of the middle of the road or the release type care, where you weren't just looking to get a Band-Aid on this, get stitched up, put back in the game. You wanted to actually get a proper professional correction. Correct?
Correct.
Absolutely. And so what we've done, April, if you look at it from that perspective, is that we've kind of read the first chapter of a book together, okay, that we're writing called, The Life and Times of April Gardner and Her Health, okay? So now what we want to do is look at, well, what's the next chapter? What is that going to look like, okay? And there's a few variables here, April, that we want to talk about. One of those variables is the type of adjusting that I'm doing. Another one is the sequence with which I'm doing those adjustments. And the last one is the frequency, okay? Now the first two, April, the style and the sequence, maybe not quite as important to you as they are to me, but we're making such good headway and such good progress that I really at this point don't see a reason to change that unless you do, April.
No.
No, absolutely. And the same thing too, April, with respect to the changes we're seeing and the great progress we're making. The frequency I think we're at, which we've been working at that 3 times a week basis, I mean, we're making such great headway that I don't really see a big need to change that. Unless, April, you're finding either based upon time or the financial commitments that's any sort of a strain. So unless you're seeing, is that a strain at this point, April?
No, it seems to be fine for now.
Okay, great. So what we're going to do then is we're going to be carrying on for that 3 times a week for 5 more weeks. At the end of that about 15 inputs, we'll stop. We'll redo our testing again just to double check ourselves, right? To make sure that we're making the kind of progress we want to make as efficiently as possible. And then we'll be doing another one of these progress reviews to basically set the stage for what the next piece might look like, okay? But I can't reiterate enough here, but I'm really pleased with the progress. Things are going literally a little bit ahead of schedule. I'm really happy. Once we get farther through this too, April, right, I usually find the early stages of care, it's a little bit more my responsibility to get things rolling, to get that old pattern to dehabituate, to let go, to start to build a new pattern. But once we start to get farther down the road, April, right, on our next review, I want to talk to you about some very specific exercises I'd like to see you do that would really help with that rehabilitation of the different nerves and muscle structures and how they fire and talk to each other, okay? We also have some classes, April, on proper nutrition. Because as we said, the 3 big stresses that the nervous system deals with is the physical stress, it is the mental, emotional, and the chemical. And so because our focus is on family wellness here and holism, we want to be sure that we're giving you opportunities to work on all 3 of those different aspects. We'll start on our next progress review with the physical aspects, with the exercises. As I said, we do have some classes available on both the mental, emotional, and the biochemical side of this, nutritionally and so on. And we'll give you more details about that once we get a little bit farther down the road.
Okay.
All right. Any questions from me at this point, April?
No.
Okay, great. Well, then let's carry on, and I'm looking forward to the next phase of care.
Okay.